Lovely evening. The sun has just gone down over a mountain behind you. You can still see it reflecting on the mountains over there. So the sun never really goes down. It's just somewhere else. It's good sometimes to have a clock on the camera, for instance, to see how much time has gone past. I'm never really aware of time very much when I'm fishing. If it took me an hour to catch a fish, and that fish was the one I wanted, all of that time that's elapsed between me not catching a fish and catching a fish basically just dissolves. That time in between just collapses into the present moment of catching the fish, hooking the fish and catching the fish and getting it out. So time is relative, as some famous people have said before me. There's this one Star Trek episode where they dissembled or re-evaluated the whole notion of how we tend to, as human beings on this planet, tend to have time as a chronological order, and we structure things from that particular point, where on one of those Star Trek Next Generation episodes, and Picard meets this one race of people who represent all of their time by things which have happened, events which have happened. So all of their time is represented by events which have happened, and not by a clock, as it were. And some people have got more, what do you call it, more control. Control's not quite the right word, but more hold of the reins, as it were, on time than others. I mean, for me, I seem to always have got quite a lot of time, and I've got spare time as well included in that. Whereas other people never seem to have a second. It's always completely full up. And sometimes I wonder about whether the drama of having a full life is really the ability to shut out everything, because everything is an emergency. And if everything's emergency, then you don't have to be bothered with those hidden things that you don't want to see about yourself, or those patterns that you don't want to see about yourself, or areas of your life that you don't want to deal with. So if you can get busy with the drama of life and be late and not be on time and always have loads of things to do, too many things to do, you don't really have to stop and listen to what's happening right now. Sometimes that's a little bit unnerving for people. People generally think they have to talk all the time in cars or around a dinner table, and usually it's not a very good conversation. In fact, it's not a conversation at all. It's people normally having an impulse in their brain and that coming out of their mouth without any wondering, is that relevant to, if we're eating food, we've probably decided the food is relevant, and the drink is relevant to the food, and the table is relevant to the people, and all of those things are relevant. We take time to decide upon that. But how often do people consider, when they say something into a group of people, whether it be around a table or in a meeting, how relevant that is to everybody's minds, which are also eating the food of your thoughts and your sentences that you're giving them? It's food for thought, eh? Or maybe it's thought for food.